Hello everyone. Today we'll complete this particular chapter. We'll do a couple of varieties of questions. There are two, three questions left and then we'll wind up this chapter. Now, in our earlier classes, we talked about under in which situation can I make an investment. So we find the present value of the benefit in which can be either reducing the cost of production or increasing our revenue. If that present value is more than the cost of the investment, then we make that investment, otherwise we won't make that investment. Similarly, we also talked about sinking fund, we talked about perpetuity. Today we'll talk about one more application, that is debentures. So all of you are account students, so you all are familiar with the word debentures. What is a debenture?
Long-term debt instrument now.
Okay, that's too much account for me now. Okay, so whenever a bank company, for example, wants to take a loan, so the company can take a loan from a variety of factors. So if the company wants to take a loan from the public, in that case, they issue a debenture. So debenture is like a note, right? Okay, I'm taking a loan of rupees this much from this person. So that note is known as a debenture. Now that has a specific value known as face value. So every company's debenture has a different rate. So for example, if I have a company's debenture whose, write with me, face value is rupees 1000, whose face value is rupees 1000, and this debenture is a 10% debenture. Now what do I mean by a 10% debenture? Whenever we take a loan, we need to pay an interest also. So if the company is taking loan from the public, then the company has to pay an interest. So this 10% is that rate of interest, also known as coupon rate or nominal or nominal rate of interest or nominal rate of interest. What is the coupon rate? Here what is going on is the company wants to take a loan from the public, and in a relation, the response of that loan, the company issues debenture to the public. The face value for the company that we are talking about is 1000 rupees, and the company is issuing a coupon rate of 10%. That means the company will pay an interest of 10% to the public for using the public's money for their own benefit, and that interest is calculated on 10%, and that 10% will be calculated on the face value. So if I want to take a loan of 10,000 rupees, then how many, suppose the company wants to take a loan from me for a sum of rupees 10,000. So how many debentures will I be issued? If I am giving a loan of 10,000 and one debenture is rupees 1,000, so I will be given 10 debentures. Agree? So right now let's talk about this particular debenture. Only one debenture, that is of sum 1,000 rupees. Done? Now we also need two, three more things. First, redemption period. When will the loan be returned? When are we supposed to return the loan? Say redemption period is 3 years. Redemption period is 3 years. Then we have a required rate of return. Now, what is the required rate of return? See, 10% is the extra, right? So, when the company returns the money, it has to return the loan as well as something extra. So, on the loan of rupees 1000, the company wants a return of 14%. Yes, the company wants a return of required rate of return is 14% in this case. And value of debenture. Value of debenture. That means what we are supposed to return is what the question is asking us. Yes. So what do we do in this case? It's there in your example if I'm not wrong. Step 1. Step 1. We find interest. We find interest. So interest will be what? Interest is 10% of the loan amount. Sorry. What is the loan amount? 1000. Loan. In this case, since I haven't mentioned number of debentures, so I'm assuming that there is only one debenture involved which has a face value of 1000. So that means my loan amount is what? 1000. So interest is calculated on the loan amount. So 10% of 1000, that is 100 rupees. So now this interest will be receivable again and again every year till the redemption period. So the redemption period is how much? 3 years. So I'll get 100 rupees at the end of first year. I'll get 100 rupees at the end of second year. I'll get 100 rupees at the end of third year. Yes. So what I'm saying is I'm getting 100 rupees again and again. So this becomes annuity. What I want to find, since I'm doing the comparison, so what I want to find is, I want to find out those interest receivables present value. So in this case, when I'm finding the present value, it will be under the concept of annuity, because we are talking about interest that is receivable for 3 times, multiple payment. So whenever we have multiple payment, we talk about annuity. And since we are drawing comparison, we'll always find present value. Step 2. Step 2. Find present value of interest. Find present value of interest. So present value formula. Present value formula. And now remember, what is the formula for present value? R 1 minus 1 plus I power minus n divided by I, where I is what? Rate. I is what? Rate. Now already this 10% is only used to find out how much interest are we supposed to pay. But now we are finding out the rate of return. That means what is the equivalent value of money of 100 rupees getting 3 times in today's world, right? In this case, we can't use the interest rate. In this, we will use the required rate of return, which tells us what will be the equivalent amount of those 100, 100, 100, 3-time payment for today. So when we are finding the present value, we don't use the interest rate or the coupon rate. We use the rate of return, the nominal basically. Yes. So in this case, our 100 rupees, 1 minus I is 0.14, 3 years, 0.14. 0.14. Calculate. 1 divided by 1.14 to 3 sign change. Add 1.14 multiply by 100. How much is the answer?
$232.16.
232.1632. Yes. Any problem till here? Yes. Now this 232 is only the interest equivalent. I'm getting 100, 100, 100, 300 rupees as an interest. Yes or no? 3 times. And for those 300, today's equivalent amount is 232.16. This is only interest. But when I'll return the money, I also need to return that 1000 loan. Yes or no? So again, I will find out that if you want me to return 1000 rupees, right? If the company has to return 1000, then what is the equivalent amount for today? So again, for that 1000 rupees, I'll find out the worth of today's worth. So again, step 3. Step 3. Step 3. Find present value of redemption value or returning value. So present value is what? In this case, am I getting 1000 rupees again and again? No, I'm getting 1000 returned only once. Earlier, we were finding present value, but it was under annuity because we are getting the interest again and again for 3 years. In this case, I'm returning the loan amount, that is 1000 rupees. That I will return only once. I won't return again and again. So in this case, we'll be using the normal present value, future value concept. Present value into 1 plus I power n. So I want you to return me 1000 rupees. That is present value. Again 14% only. 1.143 times. Answer. Guys,
674.
Sorry?
674.97.
Yes. So when we are going to return the loan as well as the interest, right? So step 3, what is the total value we will return? Add step 2 and step 3. 232.16 plus 674.97. Answer. Answer.
907.1.
This is the value of the debenture. So against 1000, right? This is the value of money. Done?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
लोन वो 1000 का इक्विवेलेंट आज का है, वो तो फ्यूचर में करेंगे. आज का क्या भाव फॉर टुडेज वन? दिस इज कैरिड फॉरवर्ड लेटर ऑन अगेन, जो यहाँ नहीं पड़ेगा इंटरनेट पर. इसको फिर हम लोग कंपैरिजन में यूज करें. डन. नाउ अर्लियर वी टॉक्ड अबाउट परपेचुइटी. व्हाट वाज परपेचुइटी? Any annuity that goes on forever, that continues forever. We talked about two. Ordinary annuity, present value is R upon I, and here annuity due. What was the formula?
R plus R by I.
Okay, first let's do a sum, then I'll carry forward with this question. Question. Mr. X wants to receive a sum of rupees 1200 a month. He wants to pass this money to his son after his death. He can earn an interest. Of 6% compounded annually. How much money will he set aside to achieve his perpetuity goal? If this word would not have been written, the word perpetuity, we would have assumed it to be a future value, right? But in that case, the time period has to be mentioned. What is the life expectancy of that person, or when he's going to stop the payment, right? So what we want is 1200 a month, but the rate for the entire year is given as 6%. So we will first find out monthly rate. Monthly rate will be 0.5%, 0.5. Which formula will be used? Ordinary, use it. So we want to find present value because annuity is already provided to us 1200 divided by 0.5%.
2,40,000.
2,40,000. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Done? See, what I'm discussing now are bits and pieces of concept. You don't have the entire concept, but you have a little bit of sums. So I'm just going through those. Okay? Done? In this, we have seen a few sums where we have growing perpetuity. Note down. Growing perpetuity. Question. Growing perpetuity. Question. Rupees 2 lakh is one-time deposit. Rupees 2 lakh is one-time deposit. 3,000 per year. So this is what? Annuity. Every year we are getting 3,000 rupees if I have made a single payment of 2 lakh. And the growth is growth of 5% every year. Growth of 5% every year. So in this case, I've given you everything. What does it mean is, in the first year, year 1, if I would have got 3,000, in year 2, it increases by 5%. So if it increases by 5%, what will it become? 3150. In year 3, it will again increase by 5%. This is what we talk about growth. So in a perpetuity, if both interest as well as growth is given, see this same concept I'll deal in another term just in a few minutes again. So if R is your annuity, the payment that you are getting again and again, P is your present value, I is your rate of interest, R, and G is your growth rate. Basically, you can think about that I'm getting an interest of say 7%, but the growth rate itself was 5%. So today's value 100, later on because of the growth rate, or you can also talk about later on the word that I'm about to use is inflation. So because of growth, this 100 will automatically become in a couple of years 105. So that is not the interest or the extra money that I'm getting. So I am getting an interest of 7% on 100. So I'll get 107 rupees. But this 7 rupees is not my actual interest. Why? Because 5% rise is because of the growth. So I'm getting an actual interest of how much? Only 2 rupees. Inflation, because of inflation, 100 rupees is automatically equivalent as 105. Whatever thing is costing me today 100, later on is going to cost me 105. And you are saying me on that day you will return me 107 rupees. So that means in addition, in advance, in extra, I'm only getting rupees 2. So my actual interest rate is not 7%. My interest rate is only 2%. So in this case, if I'm finding present value, we use the difference of the rates. In normal scenario, whenever two rates are given, always use the difference of rates. Always. Yes. In this case, the words that I've used is rate of interest and growth rate. The same thing, just after a couple of minutes, I'll be using another inflation word, nominal rate word. For example, question. Online, is it okay till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Assuming that the interest rate is 7% per annum, how much would we pay to receive, rupees 100 growing at 2% forever? See, the word forever says it's perpetuity. You want the sum of rupees 100 again and again, right? Receive this ever. So this is what? Annuity, R, growth rate, and this is the interest rate. So when we'll be finding out present value, it will be R, I minus G, 100. I'll take the net rate to be
0.05.
5%, 0.05. Answer
2000.
2000. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Done? Now another concept. We use this concept, I just did not use the term. When we are talking about investment, for example, uh, machine costs rupees 1 lakh and benefits is 30,000 for 5 years. Rate of interest is 10%. How do we decide whether I should buy this machinery or not? If I buy a machine of rupees 1 lakh, it reduces my cost by 30,000 for 5 years every year, and the interest rate is 10%. In this case, what do we do? How do we make a call whether I should buy this machinery or not?
You'll find the present value of the
Present
benefit.
value of all the benefits, because the cost is for today. If my benefits exceed 1 lakh, then I will buy. If it does not, I won't buy. Do you all agree? So here, what will we do? Find out present value of benefit. I'll tell you the terms. Find out present value of benefit. One minus 1.1 power minus 5 upon 0.1. Answer. Answer.
7581.57.
Sorry.
7581.
75,815.73. Yes or no? Everybody got this answer? See, word वो है, it's like वो money का equivalent. Done? Till here? Online, did you get this answer? Have you all got this answer? Did you get this answer? 1 divided by 1.1, 2, 3, 4,
I got
5,
something
sign
different.
change, add 1 divided by 0.1 into 30,000. Did you get this answer? No. It is 1,13,723.60. Now, did you all get this answer?
Yes, ma'am.
You could have said,
Yes,
na,
ma'am.
the answer is not matching. Huh? Use the words. So now, till now, what we discussed, and we have already done this variety of sum, what would be the conclusion?
Machine can be
We
purchased.
should make the investment. We should buy the machinery. Why? Because the amount that is going away from my pocket, outflow, was 1 lakh. And what I'm getting in return, the inflow, is 1,13,000. So inflow is more than the outflow. Yes. So yes, I should make the investment. So I did not use that term. This is outflow. Present value of outflow. Cost of machinery in today's time. This is present value of inflow. So if I have to find out net present value, then inflow minus outflow. So I'm having a benefit of 13,723.60. Since it is positive, so yes, I should make the investment. If this would have been negative, then no. So when we are doing the sum, we don't think so much. It's a common sense. I'm getting more, I'm spending less. So make the investment. The technical term, if the net present value is positive, make the investment. If the net present value is negative, don't make the investment. If net present value is positive, make the investment. If net present value is negative, that means inflow is smaller, Don't make the investment. All of you clear?
Yes, mom. Yes, ma'am.
Done? Now we'll deal with a very similar scenario. In this case, what happened is every year the benefit was same 30,000, 30,000, 30,000. So it came under annuity. Now what I'm saying is when you actually launch a new thing, the hype is more. Slowly with time it diminishes. So the value, the return may decrease, or other way around. I bought a new machinery. So because of a new printing machine, maybe the quality is increased. So yes, my revenue increases. But later on, I start learning the uh, actual functionality of the machine, and I'll get to learn few more things. So automatically increase my business, and I earn more and more with each year because of my experience, right? So that can also happen. So the inflows that we are getting may not be same for every year. That means it may not fit under annuity. But even in that case, I have to find out the present value so that I can draw the comparison whether or not I should make this investment or not. So now we are going to deal with that scenario. What are we going to deal with is we'll find out net present value when different cash inflows, different cash inflows are visible in different year. In this case, we will use our actual concept. We took a lot of time understanding the actual. We are moving forward, we multiply the compounding value. We are coming backward, we divide the compounding value. We'll go to the basics now. What happens here? Question. Same cost of machine 1 lakh. Cost of machine is 1 lakh. This is present value. This is basically present value of outflow. Today's worth. Yes or no? What I'm getting is in year 1 inflow. In year 1 I'm getting an inflow of 10,000. In year 2 I'm getting 20,000. In year 3 I'm getting 25,000. Yes, and rate of return is 10%. Yes, this is the question. Now I need to make a judgment on whether or not I should buy this machinery or not. Agree? So what we will do? We need to find out what present value. Present value is what? Today's worth. So in year 1, I'm getting 10,000. Compounding value will be how much? Compounding value was 1 plus I. What is 1 plus I in our case?
1.1.
1.1. So 10,000, if I go back a year, how much will this give me? See, this does not come under annuity. I'm not getting 10,000 again and again. 10,000 is one payment in year 1. So for this 10,000 is my future value. I want to come back to present value. So what will be the present value? 10,000 divided by 1.1 only once. Did you all understand? Present value divided by the compounding value. Yes, sorry. Future value dividing by the compounding value gives us the present value.
Yes,
In
ma'am.
this case, it's 1 year. When it will go to the second year, this becomes 20,000. So we will divide this by
1.1 square.
and year 3, it is 25,000. We are going to divide it by, yes. So my present value or present value of inflows is sum total of all of them. Answer. Answer. Guys, answer.
And 44,000.
44,402.70. Yes. So automatically inflow is smaller than outflow. So I should definitely not make the investment. Do not purchase the machine. Do not purchase the machine. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Understood?
Yes, ma'am. But can you repeat again, please?
In this case, we are getting inflows every year a different amount. So first year 10,000, it's not annuity, it's a one-time payment. So the equivalent amount of 10,000 today. So I'll divide it by the compounding value and bring it back.
Yes,
20,000
ma'am.
is after 2 years. So again, I'll bring it back 2 years before 1.1 square. 25,000 is 3 years later. So I'll bring it back 3 years, 1.1 cube division. And I'm getting all the three inflows. So the sum total of this will be what? Present value, inflows.
Yes, ma'am.
And now the inflow that I'm getting is this, but I have made an investment of 1 lakh. So how is it fair? I should not do this investment, right? Because in
Yes,
return,
ma'am.
I'm only not even getting 50% of it.
Yes, ma'am. Got it, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Everybody else done?
Can you do the calculation on the calculator once?
See, in this case, it's easier when you find these values first. 10,000, 1.1. 1.1 square you calculate and write here. 1.21, 25,000, 1.331. Yes? Now, 25,000 divided by 1.331 m plus
Yes, ma'am.
20,000 divided by 1.21 m plus
Yes, ma'am.
10,000 divided by 1.1 equal.
Yes, ma'am.
Now press addition MRC equal.
Yes, ma'am.
Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody else?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Now a small theory point. There are two types. I just said earlier we talked about growth rate. So just different terminology. Nominal rate is the rate that is given to us. Okay, nominal rate. And now what I'm teaching you is a real rate of return. Real rate of return. This is basically return on the investment. Return on investment. Yes, and this is actual return after adjusting the value of money, that is inflation rate. What do I mean by that? Supposingly today I have given someone a loan of 100 and that person will give me a 10% interest rate after 1 year. Yes. So automatically how much will I get? 110. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So anything that I'm about, that I can buy, forget everything else. If I talk about even puchka, normally earlier we used to get so many for 10 rupees, then for 20, now it's for 50. So if I talk about 1 year, the quantity is again going to decrease. Or if you keep the quantity same, the price will increase. So anything that I'm about to buy in 100 rupees, I can't buy the same thing after 1 year in 100 rupees. Why? Because of inflation, the price will rise. Yes or no? So if I'm saying that the inflation rate is 3%, that means anything which is today of 100 rupees after 1 year will cost me 103 rupees. So this 3% rise to inflation has brought. So now saying that I'm getting 10% interest, no. That 100 rupees has automatically turned to 103. And now you are getting 110. So actually you are earning a profit of how much? 7%. So this 7% is the real rate of return. I've adjusted the inflation rate here. This is the real rate of return. And this 10% was the nominal rate. This 10% was the nominal rate. So I can say that real rate of return is same as nominal rate minus
Inflation.
inflation rate. This is just a theory. We have it. Usually you may have an MCQ or something, a small theory kind of a thing. We don't have sums from here. Now the last topic. Again we have done this sum, just the terminology will change. So just by reading the question and you see a term which you haven't read earlier, you feel threatened. Oh, I haven't studied this. So just the term I am gonna change is the same question. Done? Online done?
Yes, ma'am.
Question. Revenues of a company, it's there in your book also. Example. Revenues of a company for 4 years. Year 2013, 2014, 15, 16. Revenue 100, 120, 60, 210. What we want to find out is calculate, either they tell them CAGR or compound annual growth rate. Basically, we want to find a rate which increases my 100 rupees to 210 rupees in a period of how many years? 13 to 14, 1, then 14 to 15, 2, 15 to 16, 3. In 2013, then 14, then 15, and then 16 end. So it has gone through 4 years. So in 4 years, which rate will make rupees 100 to 110? When we are finding CAGR, the intermediate values doesn't matter. Even if it would have been decreasing, it wouldn't have mattered. From 100 it became 80, then it became 120, and then it suddenly became 210. I don't care. I only want my initial value, which will be known as my present value. I want my final value, that is known as my future value. I just want to find out the rate. So 100 is your present value. My future value 100, 210 time 4 years. 4 years or how many years? Wrong. 3 years. Time is 3 years, not 4 years. 13 to 14 is 1 year. 14 to 15 is 2 years. 15 to 16 is 3 years. You basically subtract these two. So 16 minus 13, you'll get to know. Time is 3 years. Online, did you all understand this 3 years?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
So
Ma'am,
200,
can you explain it again?
this 100 was in 2013. This is 0. So from here, this is 1, first year value. Then again here, this is the second year value. Then here, this is the third year value. This is the value today, 0, present value. Yes?
Thank you, ma'am.
So 210 future value, present value 100, 1 plus I to the power n, 210 divided by 100. This is 2.1. Yes. So what we will want is cube root. Yes. We showed the trick, even though it will be provided. It's not a problem. 2.1 cube root will be provided to you. That is 1.280. I will be 1.280 minus 1.280. I is R by 100. So R 28%. R 28%. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubt?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubt? Everybody understood? That's it for this particular chapter, Mathematics of Finance.